We got the full countdown and everything, baby.
Trying to
The
make it too
5, 4,
official
3,
for
2,
me,
1.
bro. Blast off, baby.
Yeah, we're rolling right into it, man. Dude, I appreciate you coming on so much, man. You're actually the official first guest that I'm recording an interview with, which feels more than appropriate just because, dude, I don't think I'd have gotten this thing up and running if it wasn't for coming on and recording those podcasts with you on the Dope Dad, man. That was like the perfect nudge that I needed, man.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, dude. Definitely the biggest repeat guest I've got, and honestly, like the most just like authentic connection, bro. Like, you don't have to try. You don't have to force it, man. It's just the conversation rolls, man. So, dude, you're built for so much, man. Like, whatever your calling ends up being, bro, like, you got my support, dog. So, you tell me you need me on the show, man, say less, bro. I got you. 100%.
Yeah, you snapped to it, bro. You were on it. And
hell yeah.
I was getting frustrated with myself too, man, because I think I've always kind of like prided myself on if I say I'm going to do something, like I do it. And that's always been something that I try to live by. And dude, I've been talking about this podcast for like 4 or 5 fucking years, dude. I knew what I wanted the banner to look like that Reefer Madness, that old
I already know
movie
that poster.
poster.
Yeah, you showed me that, yeah.
So that's kind of the album art or like the clip that everybody sees on Spotify and everything. And I actually found out that that's public domain. So I can't get like nudged or a cease and desist from anybody for like essentially using that. Like that's free game.
Yeah, it's my
to
logo.
use.
Fuck off. Yeah. Great.
Yeah, straight up. So
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is funny too, because one of the first people to ever call me Keifer Madness, which like turned into my whole social media handles and like sparked the name of this podcast, was my first night that I worked at Cashmere's, which you were involved in hiring me in when I went into Cowboy Chow. That was the first thing that Chris Lingua called me when I started at Cashmere's.
I should have known it would be Lingua, bro. Yeah. That's
right, dude. Some
funny.
Goofy fucking play on words.
Oh yeah, dude. Eventually that would have came to light, though. Obviously, like, bro. I mean, there's very few things that rhyme with Keifer. Like, it would have ended up there eventually, bro. He just happened to be fucking Johnny on the spot. But to circle back to, dude, like, you talk about integrity, man. Like you say, you're gonna do something, do it, man. That's like that's a dead quality these days, man. You don't see it. You don't see a lot of it, man. Not a lot of people seem to like put that on like the highest of their priority list. Where you're like the OGs, like parents and grandparents and shit like that. Like integrity was like one of them, like the main priority, like top 5 attributes you have to be, right? Like you have to have integrity. You have to be responsible. You have to be punctual. All of those things seem to be less and less important to people these days, man. And whether that's like a personal bout, right? Like you're fighting with yourself to make sure that you make good on your commitments to whatever you say you're gonna do. Then comes the additional portion where you're like trying to persuade other people to come in and be participants and support the cause and be a part of the movement. And then you're relying on somebody else's integrity or them to value it the same way that you do and want to be a part of something and make good. I mean, dude, like it's really tough, man. And there's been a couple different situations like in my life where people try to persuade me to do shit and I'm like, dude, pass. I don't want to do any of that, man. Like that doesn't sound cool. I got 2 days off. I don't want to spend them fucking doing this, meandering about whatever field you were just talking about, like hard pass. But oftentimes when I put my initial response aside and I commit to doing something, it's really gratifying, bro. Like I end up having a tremendous amount of fun. I'm super connected. I feel alive. I'm like, fuck, this is great. And they're like, yeah, dude, all you got to do is step out of your comfort zone and try something new. And oftentimes, man, like it's me who gets in my own way. You know what I'm saying? I'm resistant for whatever reason. I'm just a stubborn bitch in general. But when I let my guard down, man, and I commit to something and I end up doing something, I end up having like a really, really good time. I noticed it mostly when my dad's like, yo, come on this car ride with me, and being behind the wheel of a whip with my dad for extended amounts of time is not an ideal situation, man.
I think there's even a portion of integrity where if someone's reaching out to you to do something and you're just not vibing with it, there's a certain layer of integrity that I think has been lost recently also, where it's like people just don't say no to shit and they just kind of will fucking
honest.
disappear on you instead. Just be like, hey, not right now, man. Don't have the bandwidth for it, XYZ. Like I'd rather someone tell me that and just be like straight up no, and then I can move on and keep it rolling, rather than doing this like fading into the darkness and just like ignoring a text message like it's, bro, I know you have your fucking phone strapped to you all the time, like don't be blowing me off like that. There's no need for it. And so there's like a two-sided coin to that whole integrity piece, where it's just like I like doing things that I say I'm gonna do, and like if I know something's not for me, like I'll just straight up tell someone like that's I don't have the time for that, or I'm not interested in it either.
Yeah. Getting ghosted, bro, is like common behavior now, huh? People just do that shit. They're just like, delete. Like, hide, nope, I don't see you, bro. Like, no, I don't know, man. That's old school, man. People are just like scared of confrontation, scared to let somebody down, scared to hurt some feelings or whatever. Where I don't know, man. I'm more like, yo, it's got nothing to do with you, bro. It's a me thing, and fucking no is the answer. Got shit going on. Rather spend time with my wife and kids than you. Sorry, motherfucker. That's how it is.
That's just how it goes. That's the the list of priorities, man.
Yeah, no illusions to that.
I think growing up in a small town too, man. Like being from Winslow, you can't.
Where is that? For the people who don't know, where the fuck is that?
So northern Arizona, about 40 miles east of Flagstaff. If you're a classic rock fan at all, you definitely know the old Eagles song "Take It Easy." That "Standing on a Corner in Winslow, Arizona" line from that song has been that town's claim to fame for the past like 40, 50 years now.
Yeah,
so
oh yeah, dude. We're known. We're recognized.
Someone talked about us.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I think Scottsdale's the only time I've ever heard that is when I was watching like a South Park or some shit, and they were like, "We're gonna send them to hell," and they were like, "No, wait, worse, Scottsdale." I was like, oh shit, Scottsdale, yeah, okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense.
That all definitely fucking makes sense, man. It's cool too having you on, man. There's so many different layers to it because we've crossed paths in so many different ways, man. But even speaking to the dope dad again, my dad called me. God, this had to be 4 or 5 weeks ago. I'm driving into work, and we have this kind of ritual where if it's between like 7:45 and like 8:30 in the morning, we'll take turns calling each other because I'm typically driving into work. And I'm chatting with him, and I think this was right after my hunt because we had just finished up a deer hunt like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw you, animal killer, in the bed of a truck with a dead deer, fucking propping his head up and shit, bro. That was recent?
Yeah, that was probably back in, what was that? It was the weekend before Halloween.
Okay.
It's about 6-8 weeks. He actually just sent me a picture
and smoked a deer, bro.
Dude, that was it. We were.
We'll get to that in a minute. Circle back to, so you're talking to your pops.
Yeah, I'm talking to my pops, and he's like, "Where's OJ been? Where's OJ been? Where's the dope dad been?" And I was like, "Funny enough, man,
dude, really?
I've got him coming on the pot, dude. I've had a couple people ask me like, where you've been, dude."
Oh, that's so cool, bro. Yeah, that means a lot, dude. I had a couple homies in Seattle check in too. They're like, "Yo, what happened, man? Like, what's going on with the dope dad? Like, let me get something, man." And I'm like, dude, honestly, the money dried up, bro. Like, it's a passion project. I want to do it, but it cost me a pretty substantial amount walking into it to do it and get everything set up and branding and shit, which, like, I don't mind that. But then, like, the continued putting money out and not getting anything in return, let me rephrase that, not seeing monetary value return, right? Because obviously the return on that, bro, is the amount of, like, love and support I got from people, from dads, from young dads. My older brother's about to be a dad. He's fucking 40, I'm 45, so he's 48, bro. Him and his new wife just got pregnant, and he's about to be a dad for the first time, and he's like, holy shit, dude, this is crazy. What can I expect? I'm like, how the fuck would I know? You know? Like, everything's different. Like, everybody's different. So I don't know. Like, I could tell you what happened with me, but I can't tell you what you're going to expect. And I don't know, man, like, the value that other people seem to have like, pulled out of the show is really rewarding, man. It's amazing, bro. And I do plan on getting it back up and running, man. And maybe there's a format where I could do something that's, like, more cost effective, and I don't mind like the time demanding or anything like that, or recruiting people, because there's a lot of people that want to be participants. But dude, tell your dad OJ's got plenty more in the goodie bag for him, man. It's just recovery time.
Fuck yeah,
you know
baby.
What I mean? Regroup those funds,
dude. Speaking of recovery time, man, you hit a pretty big milestone here recently. Massive, man. Why don't you let's share that one?
All right, dope. Yeah, December 4th, man. 15 years of sobriety, man. Straight up off the bottle, which is funny because I notice a lot of people get sober around the holidays, right? Like before the holidays, leading up to them, or coming out of them, because they're like, fuck, I don't even remember what just happened. Obviously, like, your celebration for your birthday is right there, bro. Christmas Eve, right?
Christmas Day.
Christmas Eve was hitting the bottle. Christmas Day was, I'm done, right? The disappointment in your eyes is too much to bear. So yeah, my pops he lives down here. He's sober as well. His sobriety birthday is 9/7/97.
Oh, wow.
And so I ended up getting sober. And what's crazy is, like, talking to him about sobriety, he's like, man, when you went sober at 30, I still had 15 more years to fuck up. So, like, that gives me perspective on somebody else's battles, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, rock bottom's different for everybody, bro. But yeah, 15 years, man. And this year was really cool. My daughters were real quick. Like in the morning, I'm making them breakfast. They're like, happy birthday, Dad. Like, congratulations. Whoa. I'm proud of you. I'm like, fuck, man. Like, that was unexpected. Not because they don't care, but because it's not really, like, they've never seen me fucked up. to them it's not a big deal. For me to say I used to be a drunk, they're like, well, I've never seen it, so I can't even picture it. Thank God, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
for a lot of people, unless you've witnessed it, been through it, seen it, felt it, bro, you could never understand it. You can never understand homelessness unless you slept in your fucking car. You could never understand what it's like to be broke until your stomach's grumbling, you're just trying to digest air or cigarette smoke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's for them, they just like they've never witnessed it firsthand, and so for them to acknowledge it and know that it was really important to me, man, like, dude, that shit, it meant a lot. And there's a 7 o'clock meeting that my dad goes to. He's still like one of those OG guys that like he relies on AA to like make it through his days, and different shit for different people. So I know that's important to him. It's a huge part of his day. He goes 7 days a week, man. He doesn't miss it unless he's out of town. And I only go, dude, if I feel like really really weak or like really stressed out, and not weak like being a bitch or like a pussy or something like that. Weak like. Man, I don't know, man. I'm like my surrender to myself, you know what I mean? Because we are our own worst enemies, and I don't know, man. I just and milestone birthdays, bro. Because you know the saying, sometimes you need the meeting, sometimes the meeting needs you. Man, I hit 15 years. I'm like, I don't really need a meeting today, but maybe I could go there and there'll be somebody who does, and I could say some cool shit that will speak to them and make them feel motivated or encouraged,
Give
you
them
know.
some
And
hope.
so, yeah, man. I got up. I went to the meeting. I made everybody breakfast and did my thing. I got up. I went up to the meeting. And my dad knew I was coming, so he saved me a seat right next to him. And like hindsight, I think he saved a seat right next to him, knowing that as somebody with a birthday of such significance, I'd probably get the mic and be able to set a topic, and then I would pass it to him because I think he had some shit like chambered that he wanted to say too. You know what I mean? And bro, it was really cool. I didn't expect to be as emotional as I was, but dude, I was choked up, bro. I like struggled to get some shit out. I'm like, let me like regroup, and I don't know why I was so emotional, except that like looking around, and there were people there that were 1 week sober. There it was Thursday, so there was already a speaker up there, and the guest speaker goes for about 15 minutes, and he was talking about missing like the birth of his child because he was all fucked up, and his wife called him and was like, "Yo, you're a dad, and your daughter's here, and don't fucking bother coming." And I don't know, man. I'm like, bro, like in those settings, I'm like, man, all this stuff. I feel guilty, bro. I feel like I just drank. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I feel like I did something wrong. Maybe I did need the meeting. You know what I mean? But it like helped kind of put some shit in perspective. And so they were like, yo, 15 years. And obviously, like this year's been like really, really tough for a lot of people, man. Financially, emotionally. My wife and I got 18 years, and so we're like in a really cool phase of our marriage, which normally like it hasn't been this like connected, and so that's amazing, but everything else is fucking crippling and falling apart, and I'm more like financially stressed than I've ever been, bro, and just like everything weird is happening in my life, and so I don't know, I feel vulnerable, bro, and I feel like emotionally like unstable and shit, and normally I would turn to alcohol, but I haven't, which is great. It's a blessing. But yeah, I went to this meeting, man. I spoke. I chopped it up. A lot of people were like really, really fucking cool. They gave me a coin, which for a lot of people doesn't mean shit. And I mean, it's just a little piece of fucking coin. But for me, I look at this and I'm like, man, how many hangovers have I skipped? And how much money have I actually saved? Like, how many hurtful things have I not said? And how many times have I evaded jail, bro? Because
Yeah.
your boy loved to do dumb shit and end up in county. And yeah, I don't know. I'm really grateful, bro. Honestly, like 2025 for me has been a fucked year, but it's all about gratitude for me, bro. Like I'm so grateful. I'm grateful I woke up today, bro. I'm grateful I got my wife. I'm grateful I got my kids. I got my dogs. You know what I mean? I've got a car that when I get into it, it starts, bro. When I walk outside, I can fucking breathe. Like I watch old people, man. They can't make it 20 feet without stopping and having to like gasp for air and shit. I'm like, bro, could you imagine that shit? You imagine
Fuck
how
no.
fucking hard it would be to have your health that fucked? I'm like, bro, I got as much shit is wrong in my life, bro. I got it really good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I got it good, dude. I live in Scottsdale, Arizona, bro. Like, my bag ain't too heavy, you know?
Right,
So,
right. It's tough too sometimes, man, because I think sobriety has a really interesting way of kind of casting the shadow sometimes of making you feel like you're supposed to have it all together all of the time once you kind of get into that groove, man. And I've had those same time periods, man, where it's like I've in a similar regard, man, like 2025 was like a little bit of a battle. And one of those years that I kind of look back on where I'm like, whew, man, all right, we got through it. We made it through that one. And I remember there was a couple of points in time during this past year where it was like, kind of sitting there and, dipping into some old mental health pockets that I hadn't been into in a long time that were just really negative, kind of dark. I don't want to necessarily say like slipping into some sort of state of depression or anything like that, but definitely kind of going through some really big peaks and valleys over the past like year or so. And like you were saying, like some weird health stuff that was going on. Like I went and got a couple of heart tests done because there was a couple of runs that I went on that like was starting to get some weird like chest palpitation stuff and just making sure that was all checking out. And so having never encountered anything like that, you always feel like you've got this suit of armor on after you've made it X amount of time with like the sobriety and everything. And then life has this weird habit of kicking you in the nuts and humbling you. And it really kind of makes you galvanize your relationship with yourself instead of, leaning on sobriety as being so much of this like elevating thing that you've done. And you try to prop it up as being something that you've accomplished and you've done. And then you realize, man, at the end of the day, it really is day by day when you get into those situations, man. Yeah.
It's, sobriety's great until you realize it's no fucking different. You know what I mean? Like you don't have a distraction, you know what I mean? Yeah. Which sometimes I'm like, fuck, dude, I wish there was something just to like, dude, medicate me for a second and take this shit away.
Yeah.
Cause I'm stuck with my thoughts, bro. I'm like, I live up here. I'm stuck up here and there's no escaping it. And I have to find a way to either like meditate or ground myself or walk it off, fuck it off, talk it off, whatever, man. Like you're forced to find alternative ways to process stress and try to come out on top. And I don't know, man, for a lot of sober people, man, dude, it's even harder than when we were fucked up, because my life came kind of crashing down on me. And a lot of the shit that I drank away, coincidentally, still happened to be right there waiting, not to mention the temptation to drink, like, I think the depression comes from feeling like you don't have an out. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm like, dude, why are things so fucked up? I'm doing everything I can. I went sober. I'm working my fucking ass off. I'm a genuinely good person. Why are all these negative ass things happening? And the reality is it's just life, bro. Like, I try to stay away from that victim mentality, but sometimes it's really hard not to throw a little pity party, bro. Fucking get my reservation, send it out, like, yo, attend my pity party, and I pick it back up, and I'm like, ooh, I'll do that. I love a pity party.
I'll get dressed to the nines for that fucking party every time, baby.
Dude. So I don't know, like the poor me thing, man. Like, dude, it's pretty easy to fall into that, man, and have like a victim mentality. But like I said, man, gratitude's been my whole mantra for 2025, man. Like, things are fucked up. Yeah, bro, for sure. But there's always gonna be something fucked up. I'm like, yo, what's let me find that, let me highlight that, let me focus on that. What's like the dopest shit, bro? In the mornings, I cook breakfast for my whole family, my wife, my kids. I don't eat breakfast because I'm not like one of those dudes that gets up and I'm like, oh, I'm starving. I don't get hungry till like noon or some shit, you know what I mean? Like, I need some coffee, but also like the kids, I want them to eat a good meal before school. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be like the Pop-Tart dad and shit. That's just like, yo, fuck a, toaster strudel up and then go to school and they're hungry during the day, So I get up, I cook eggs. I do some like some fresh fruit or some shit like that. Make my wife coffee, like a fire ass coffee. I'm like quite the barista around the crib for the record. And then I'll do some other shit and I set them up. And bro, like I'll like retreat to the room and just chop it up. And bro, like I hear them out there laughing. They're like fucking laughing. They're connecting before school. They start their day with like happiness and joy and laughter. And if nothing else in the day, bro, like that's the best way to start my fucking day. Absolutely. My girls laughing together and being besties and shit is like hearing music. My wife's out there and they're all rolling and talking shit. And they've made comments like, why don't you join us? Oh, you never sit down with us. And every once in a while I will, but also it's like it's my time to like recluse and just like observe and listen. And for all the things that are fucked in life, bro, like people kill for that, you know what I mean? And so I got to be grateful, bro, where I can, Well, that's a big deal for me.
It's one of those things too, man, like pre-sobriety. It's tough getting caught up in the moment and not being able to zoom out. And there's a quote I heard the other day that this guy was rattling off that it was like, I'm so thankful to be exhausted because of the things that I was asking for, 10 or 15 years ago.
That's so funny, dude. I think I saw that same shit.
It's so good, man, and it's a good reminder, and it's tough not to get overwhelmed with anything like that. I mean, we're all juggling families and kids and sobriety for you and I, but there's people out there fighting XYZ battle, man, and it just feels like sometimes the weight of the world can be coming down on you, man. But when you can actually take a second, zoom out, and like look at all of that. And Taylor and I were kind of doing this the other day, man, where it's like taking a little bit of a inventory of, 15 years ago, Owen compared to Owen now, and the capacity that you have to handle all of the stuff that's getting thrown at you over the past year, financial stress with the family, career stuff, all of that going on. You have the capacity now to handle all of that in stride. And like, dude, no one expects anybody to have just completely upside moments where it's like you just take everything in stride, you never get upset, anything like that, man. And I think once you kind of come to the realization that everybody on this earth is battling something along those lines, man, it just becomes that much easier to process and deal with it. You just got to keep it moving.
Too, man, like I take a lot of accountability, which I fucking ran from earlier in life. You know what I'm saying? And I think that like has really been a catalyst to my behavior and my self-growth, my maturity and shit. That certainly is benefiting my maturity, my marriage, my maturity and my responsibility and accountability. But yeah, dude, like I think about chaotic situations, right? And you're either built to deal with them and address them, or you're not. Like you take war, right? Gunfire, boom. People who've been training in the military fucking freeze. And some people are built for war and some people aren't. And the people that aren't, like, just they forget all their training, they don't know what to do, they hold their firearm, they're stuck in the moment. And my understanding is that it happens with police officers, law enforcement, military personnel, stuff like that. And you never really know how you're going to process it until you're in it. And there's a lot of training that goes into that, but I think like we also are training our kids to deal with stressful moments, right? Like their eyes are on us when shit's hitting the fan, when there's a flat tire and it's dark out and you don't have the right jack, right? Like how are you going to respond, bro? Because you're setting the tone for how your kids are going to respond, right? Like somebody's at the door, you don't know who they are, and it's a dark figure and they're like banging on the door. Like, okay, like your response, you're setting the tone, you're teaching your kids how to respond to high stress situations and what their response is going to be. And I don't feel like I ever really was able to do that or process that at a young age. And so my response was always anger. I would like fucking explode. If there was like a high stress situation, whether it's like financial or relationship wise or whatever, I would just get loud. Like it was like a kind of like a cowardly response to try to like alpha my way out of the situation and dominate it and be like, I'm in fucking charge, even though I was lost and didn't feel like it. And so now I try to be like really, really calm. Dude, I live with women. And so that type of behavior around like a young girl, bro, is so out of pocket, and I'm guilty of it, bro. Like I did it, how many times I look back on it and I'm embarrassed by it, and I know that I can change it, right? And so I take accountability for that. I take responsibility, and I'm applying myself to change. And so, yeah, man, I try to find ways to be calm in high stress situations, even though my natural response is to lose my fucking mind. Dude, it doesn't help anybody, right?
I think, you were saying earlier that you were a little bit surprised that your daughters were celebrating that 15-year mark in the way that they did. But I think, man, if they know, obviously, like you've progressed over the years, right? And they've been able to probably observe your growth and watch you become more patient and more understanding as time has gone on. And I'm curious if their connecting mechanism and their ability to celebrate your sobriety essentially is because they probably, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, probably connect a little bit of that sobriety journey with watching you develop as a dad and step into these new stages of your life too, man. I'm sure.
I could totally see that. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense, dude. It's funny, I always like lean on you to connect the obvious dots for me and shit. I'm just like, yes, that does add up. Here. God, man, dude, even when I sobered up, bro, I was still a disaster. I still probably am, you know what I mean? But like, I'm just like a more well composed one. But yeah, dude, it's true. Somebody fucking drops a gallon of milk, man, and like now you got a fucking mess. You got shit everywhere. It's all over this, that, and the other thing. Hot fucking beans or whatever. And bro, yeah, you can either freak out or you can clean it up. Either way, you got to fucking clean it up.
Yeah.
But
right.
back in the day, I was like, I would make sure that everybody knew how upsetting it was and what a disappointment it was. And I don't know, man. Like it's just. Maybe that was like taught to me as a kid. I don't fucking know. I don't reflect on my childhood very much because you and I have talked about that. I'm not really interested in like opening these portals of anger and animosity and
sure,
shit like that. But yeah, dude, I don't know, man. Like, I just don't want to be an explosive motherfucker.
Yeah.
But the other day, My wife did have a desk outside. I got her that new desk that I was showing you earlier. We had a desk outside. Something happened. I don't even remember what it was. And bro, I rage fucking destroyed that shit. Bro, it felt so good. Nobody was here. I went out back, dude. I like lifted that fucker up, bro. Just destroyed it, kicked the shit out of it, fucked my toe up in the process. So like, got to take a wound out of it to replay like how retarded that was for me to do that. But yeah, honestly, man, like it's been a long time since I did anything like aggressive wise like that. But I mean, dude, you do jujitsu, you do running, you get your anger and rage out in certain ways, man. Like for somebody who just goes to work and then comes home, man, like I got to be able to I got to be able to rage at some point, you know, get that shit out of the body. Break
Dude,
rooms are fucking.
That's one
Brilliant.
of the first things that I suggest to anybody when they're talking about getting sober for the first time, man. I'm like, pick something physical that you can use as an outlet, man, because
For sure.
Rich Roll has actually talked about it on his podcast in a sense of you just become an emotional lightning rod for the first, 3 to 6 months after you get sober.
Yeah.
And it is so rough for the people around you for those first couple of weeks and months because it doesn't matter who or what is in the way. Like you are a bull in a china shop and like you just have all of this like pent up energy that used to get put out into substance abuse. And it doesn't matter. It could be the smallest thing, dude. It could be order coming through wrong in a drive through. It could be someone cutting you off in a lane. It could be the smallest thing that just sends you completely off of the deep end, man.
Yeah, a lot of gas station attendants get it for no reason, bro. What the fuck are you out of unleaded? Like, bro, you look like I'm making gas over here, my guy?
Right.
Yeah, it's tough. Anyways, that's been like a big thing for me. So I don't know, man. Like 2025, like I guess circling all the way back. Gratitude's huge, bro. I've got a really good thing, man. I made it 15 years, and it was a huge milestone. There was a couple people that pulled me aside, you know, after the meeting. Were like, "Yo, thanks for sharing. Thanks for opening up. Thanks for being vulnerable." And I guess like my angle on that wasn't like, you know, poor me, or like it wasn't also like a celebration. I used to get so fucked up, man. You could catch me doing this or that or the other thing. My whole angle was like honest vulnerability, right? Like, yo, I'm 15 years. I'm super fucking proud of that, and it's hella hard, bro. And I still gotta fight. Like it's still like a daily thing, bro. Like I could think of 15 reasons to have some drinks right now, and I try to latch on to one not to. You know what I mean? So does it get easier? Fuck no, bro. You think about it a lot less, and you manage your stress and process situations in your life a lot easier. But I guess the reality is, once an addict, always an addict. You know, there was somebody there that was, who knows how many years prior to her relapsing. She was like, 7 days or something like that. And she's like, I thought I could do it. She's like, I thought I could do it. I've been sober for so long. I thought I could do it. And I went out with my girls and we had some drinks and I thought I could do it. I couldn't. You know, she fucked up. She caused a huge scene, got into a big old fight. You know, I'm like, man. And that's totally me, right? Like you pick up right where you left off. I'm like, man. So I don't know. I'm blessed, dude. I'm grateful. 15 years was a huge milestone.
Just because I've never heard you really discuss it. I mean, you're such a good host with Dope Dad and everything, man. You were such a good storyteller that you were a master of making sure that the person that you were interviewing was the basis of the subject matter, man. Like what was rock bottom? What was the turning point for you that flipped the switch that made you decide to change everything?
One would think it would be like waking up butt naked in my daughter's room with like black Fernet Bronca puke all over her bathroom. And that one would think it might be waking up in fucking Scottsdale jail with 13 charges and I couldn't go home. It wasn't that. There was nothing spectacular. Like for everybody, it's different. Sometimes people just they have like a catastrophic event that like scares the fuck out of them, right? Shot this person on accident, crashed my fucking car. They get real with how close they are to either death, hurting somebody else really bad, or losing everything. And normally losing everything isn't really like that scary because we're fucking addicts, and if they choose to leave us, then fuck them, right? Because it's
Right.
certainly their problem and not ours. But it was around the holidays, and I was drinking a lot, man. You get up in the morning, and I'd start drinking, and I'd make sure I set an alarm to get up before my wife, and I'd sink beer at a time, and then I'd like dispose of them as I was, drinking them. So I'd have like 4 by the time she'd get up. She'd always catch me with a beer, and she'd be like, "Dude, are you fucking drinking already at like 9:45?" And I'm either like, no, it's from the night before, or yeah, I'm just having one while I'm like picking up the house and cleaning and doing laundry and shit. But I was already like, say I would be a six pack in before I was about to go to work, evenings, restaurants and stuff like that. Once I went to work, I'd start taking shots at work, and it was always like liquor shots because it's just like one and done. And then after I got off work, I'm like, okay, cool. I don't have to hide the fact that I'm drinking. And so then it's like a bottle and a 12 pack or something like that. So like, and I'm fucking little, bro. I'm like 5'6", bro. Like at the time, I was probably like a buck 35 or something.
Sure.
And dude, it was like around the tail end of November, the beginning of December, and I was doing all that, and I just had this crazy epiphany, bro. Like I was like crying a lot when I was drinking. I would always drink by myself, and I was like crying, and I was just like so fucking disgusted at who I was becoming, bro. Like I was lying, and I wasn't like a cheater. Like I never cheated on my wife. I wasn't interested in other girls or like hanging out with people and shit. I was just like a manipulative, self-serving little drunk fuck that would just all I cared about was getting faded and pleasing myself. And dude, I had this epiphany that I am a fucking slave to this shit. Like I am completely powerless to this. Like everything that I do surrounds alcohol. Like, hey, do you want to come here? Like, can I drink? Can I drink before I get there? Can I drink while I'm there? Can I like sneak drinks? Do I have to drive? I want to get fucking blackout drunk. Like, am I going to have to operate a vehicle? Like, it's not a huge deal. I'm totally down to do it. But I want to mentally prepare for if I'm about to like throw myself and everybody else's fucking lives on jeopardy, And dog, I was so powerless to that shit. And that's like a really tough place for a dude to be when you have a realization that you are so weak that you can't even say no to yourself. Right? And I'm stronger than that, bro. I'm built for something different, bro. Like I'm bigger than that. And I had to prove to myself. It was just like a personal fucking bout. I looked in the mirror, bro. I'm done with you, bro. That's it. I'm not doing this shit. And I tricked myself. I started with like, yo, I'm not going to drink in the morning like I normally do. And I didn't. And then I made it to lunch, and I'm like, I'm not going to drink before work. And I didn't. And that night I was like, yo, I'm not going to fucking drink at work. And bro, I didn't. And I was like, I'm not going to drink when I get off work. I'm going to do some other shit. And I fucking didn't. And it was crazy, bro. Like I got a day under my belt. And it was a long time before I was able to celebrate because I had to live like 1 hour at a time, like one drinking phase at a time, And I don't know. It was tough. It was tough because I drank by myself, bro.
Yeah.
How do you get the fuck? How do you get away from yourself? If you're always drinking with your boys and you're like, yo, I'm not drinking with these guys, you could just stop kicking it with them. And I'm sure it's much easier, right? But I drank by myself. I was like a solo act, man. And I hated myself. And so that was really tough, man. And then I obviously like I don't know who the fuck I am without alcohol after that. And turns out I didn't like that guy very much either. And you drink a bunch of booze. I'm so loud. I'm like, oh, I'm so cool. Everybody loves me. Oh, look how funny I am. And I'm the life of the party. And like we're all getting along. This is so dope. I met so many cool people last night. And I sober up and I'm like, Bruh, I'm actually not that funny. And I don't know who the fuck I am. And I'm actually a very insecure person that cares what people think about me and have no idea what I want in life and lack motivation and drive and direction. And that's really tough, right? Because now I'm like dealing with all that realization of that shit without alcohol to like soften the blow. So I'm like, fuck, dude, this is 10 times worse than I thought it was going to be. But thankfully I have my wife, man. My queen was supportive, bro. And it wasn't easy for her, man. And very seldom do I think about other people when I'm going through something. But I think about how hard that must have been for her, too. Because like you're saying, like the fucking, dude, 6 months of mood swings and inconsistent behavior and self-serving because everything had to be about me. I can't do that. That might trigger me. I can't go there, no, because I might want to drink. I can't be around your parents because we always get fucked up. And I don't know. Like, it's probably pretty tough for her. I mean, circle all the way back, bro. There was no, like, boom, this was the fucking nuke that sent me sober. I guess just enough years of hating who I was turning into finally came fucking crashing down, and maybe I have more strength than I thought I did.
Yeah.
I fought back, and I'm fucking winning. I'm still fighting, and I'm still winning.
Yeah. I think one of the cool things about sobriety and kind of what you were touching on there, man, is it's almost every person that I've talked to that's an addict is there's like a high performer hidden under there somewhere. It's
Yeah.
like, because if you have the mental capacity to constantly orchestrate everything around it, like you were saying, like, I remember the same thing where it's like, I'm going to go hang out with so-and-so. I'm going to have to leave my car here. I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to orchestrate. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it would be hours of extra steps to just get it to the point where I could go get as fucked up as I wanted to.
Yep.
Make sure I had a spot to crash. Make sure my car was where I needed it to be the next day so I could just go in a hungover haze, go execute everything that I needed to do, man. And then you were touching on the other thing too, is there's like a certain interesting level of self-hatred that I feel like starts to kind of come out during that time. And I feel like what I've kind of processed over the past like because December 25th will be 7 years for me. And
Bro. That's
yeah,
huge,
it's great, man. You sort of get this disconnect from who you know you can and should be. And that decision where it wasn't such like a big explosive thing for you, because like you'd already weathered all of the shit that kind of like causes people to get sober, dude. And like I've had those same situations, like crash cars, woken up in jail, all of that shit. Didn't get sober. It wasn't until like I'm staring at my family, you know, trying to celebrate Christmas, and I'm like, they're opening presents and I'm opening a bottle of fucking ibuprofen to like just suffer through the day, man.
Yep. Yeah, and the kids are like, Dad, you got this from you? And you're like,
I think so.
Yep, she did, because she's the only one that fucking cares.
Yeah,
know?
she's holding
That's
everything
tough.
together right now. So
Yeah, bro.
I think once you kind of start identifying that person that you know you can be, and start coming to the realization and paying attention to the addict, there's this, we all call it self-hatred, but I think you really just start hating the addict. And so you start kind of peeling pieces back on who you were before all of this stuff started taking over, man. And that's kind of what got me into running and everything. It wasn't directly running, but I remember when I had first gotten sober, I like pulled up my old social medias, dude, and I was just like scrolling back, and I was like, what did I used to do before I was a drunk? Like, what the hell did I used to do? Because like you said, man, you get...
You were a kid.
Right.
You went from being a kid to being a fucking drunk. And so you didn't even have like an adult identity. You were just a drunk guy, dude. Probably. I don't know.
Yeah. Just working in the restaurant industry and like just being a drunk shithead bartender that, you know, captured lightning in a bottle and just found a little bit of success early. And so everybody
Dude, that's the
just
thing,
kind
too.
of
Like,
glazed over
It
it.
sucks when you're like really good at what you do, because people celebrate the awesomeness. They just don't have to deal with like the real, the real.
Right.
You know, you take the fucking veil off, bro, and it's not pretty. You know, some of the shit that I said to my wife and did to my wife, like, fuck, bro. Like, not even because I like was upset or angry. I was just a fucking dipshit. I was faded, you know. And that's not a good enough excuse for her. For me, I'm just like, yeah, just forgive me. Like, I didn't even fucking mean it. She's like, no, bro, those wounds cut deep.
Yeah.
Real fucking deep.
Yeah.
And I guess that's kind of like what I replaced my sobriety with, like shooting and guns and shit. You know, thank God we live in Arizona, man. I got like all sorts of like dope ass shit out here. And that's really therapeutic, like going out to the desert and just like turning everything off and letting loose some rounds and stuff. But dude, I was like, oh, cool. I sober up and I'm like, oh, great, I'm married and I've got a daughter and she's pregnant with another kid. So I should kind of start figuring this out, paying attention to this and investing in the marriage. And that was really tough. She's like, dude, I've been invested for fucking years. Where were you at? And I'm like, I mean, you know where I was at. And why can't you just like drop it and let me sober up? But I guess like as a dude, I just expect her to pick up the pieces, let the pain go away and forgive me and we move on happily, right? That's not really how it works. I still got a lot of shit I got to make up for, and you know, we're 18 years married, man, and there's still stuff that I've done that have like affected her emotionally and mentally, you know, and I still gotta take ownership for that, you know. It's not nearly like we're still fighting over shit from, you know, 15 years ago, but like it'll pop up and I'm like, man, that was fucked up. That really hurt, huh? Like,
Yeah.
man.
What was it like getting sober and working in the restaurant industry?
Difficult, man. But it's also like all I knew. And so I don't think there were no other options for me. I didn't think that there was like another avenue or outlet. I'm like, okay, I'm changing this big part of my life. I don't know if I'm ready to change like all these other parts of my life, because maybe that would just equate to some other type of catastrophic failure or something. I don't know. I never tried to overthink it. I'm pretty simple, you know. And like I said, I was living one day at a time, and I think by the end of it, I came out of it and I was like, oh, I still work in this field around these people. I no longer really associate with them. But like I said, I was pretty much self drinking and shit, you know, doing my own
Yeah.
little parties. So I don't think it was ever really something that was as problematic as a lot of people thought it might be. It's annoying and it's a little heartbreaking
Sure.
to like look back and see myself in other people and be like, dude, I know where I can't tell you shit. I already know how it's going to end up. I know where it's going. I know where it's headed. I can try to be a positive influence and encourage people, but I mean, the reality is, bro, like if you're anything like me, you got to walk that path, bro. Tell me it's
Yeah.
hot. I'm like, I'll be the fucking judge of that. How hot? Who like it's hot to you? Not hot to me. I'll touch it. I'll touch it twice. Touch it with both hands. You know. So I don't
It's
know, man.
it's kind of the concept of unteachable lessons, right? You see someone hurtling down a path, and you know what that outcome's going to be, but you can tell them everything that you know how to tell them, and like they've still got to go learn those lessons, man. And it's especially tough as a parent. And I
I knew that
know
was
you
coming
get
up. Oh
this,
yeah,
man.
bro.
I
Yeah,
know you
dude.
get this, man. Like there's so many things that, Coop's 7, so we're kind of navigating like friends and dynamics and like
At least you got
you
boys, bro. Girls are fucking awful. They are so mean to each other. Like girls in general, like
yeah.
young children growing up. I'm like, man, I don't remember it being like this with boys, and maybe it's like a generation thing. Maybe it's where I grew up or whatever. But holy shit, girls are fucking mean, man. I'm sure your wife would say the same thing. Like girls are fucking awful with you.
Taylor's mean, man. What the fuck are you talking about?
I plead the fifth on that, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and just not be involved.
You're like, I'm bowing out of that one,
Yeah,
bro.
dude.
I mean, what are some like occurrences that you've had? I mean, I'm definitely curious on having daughters growing up in kind of the social media era, man. Like that's got to be a tough one to
You know, it's
wade
really
through,
tough,
man.
man. So years ago, 7 years ago, ish. I don't know. My daughter was probably like 11, my oldest. We were in Disneyland, brought tablets and shit like that. They're all out there kicking it in the fucking hotel room. I'm doing something. My wife's passed out. I like roll up on Shorty, and she puts her tablet down really quick. Turn that shit over, bro. Give it to me.
Give it.
Give me the fucking goods, bro. What are you doing? What you up to? And she's like, nothing. It was like a different type of nothing. It was like a panic nothing. I'm like, okay, so obviously something even more significant than what you should be doing. And so she tells me she's in like a obby, like a little lobby room thing or whatever. And some people that she knows online are they're all like getting in the same bed and they're sleeping together in bed and they're like doing things in the bed. And somebody was like encouraging her to like get her character in the bed and like do these things with him. I'm like, oh, y'all are trying to fuck on Roblox? Are you shitting me? I'm like, that's a real thing. You guys are trying to fuck on Roblox. I'm like, okay, bro. Like, for a variety of reasons, this shit ain't popping off. Like,
Yeah.
we're done with Roblox for a while, dude. It was like years before I let any of the kids back on it, with like heavy permissions. And I don't know, man. Like, it's really tough to give them the freedom to grow and set boundaries that are not gonna fucking hurt them. And there's been like a bunch of different obstacles, situations like that. You know, situations where like my kids and other girls are like, they're no longer friends. They're like, oh, they're best friends one day and they're fucking mortal enemies the next day. And I'm like, okay, what happened? They're like, well, they just didn't like that I was like, you know, talking to this other girl or saying this thing. And so I unearth a little bit of it and I'm like, oh, brother, like you were being a shitty friend. This motherfucker didn't do anything. Like you're being a shitty friend, bro. Like you're over here popping off at the mouth. You're gossiping. You're starting shit. You're talking shit. And so not always like calling my kids the victor and taking their side either. Like, dude, they're my kids, ride or die. Like, right, wrong, or indifferent, I don't give a fuck. They're mine. I always got them. But I'm also gonna call them out on their shit. Like, I still want them to be good people, and I want them to be good friends. And I want them to know, like, how their behavior can affect somebody else that's close to them and shit. And so,
Yeah.
navigating those situations and setting boundaries and talking to my wife and getting my wife and I on the same page. Some stuff's more time sensitive. I got to handle it like right then and there. But like my daughters are pretty attractive, man. Like dudes are gonna want to try to fuck them too, and that's stressful. But
Yeah.
how old are kids when they start fucking?
I don't
But
even
throw a
know
ballpark
anymore,
out
bro.
there. Yeah, but how old are kids probably when they start fucking?
Probably like 16, 17, high school and shit.
Yeah. So I've got a 14-year-old and a 17-year-old.
Whew.
Yeah. Yeah, precisely. And so I gotta have birth control talks. I talk about the realities of intercourse, boys, what they want out of shit. I don't want to fucking like. I don't want to be overbearing, but I do want to be realistic. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And so, sorry, my phone was ringing. I don't even know if you could hear that. That's really tough, man. My oldest daughter driving,
Oh, that's some stressful shit
wrecked the
right
car
there, man.
twice.
That's some stressful shit.
So two kids from her school got murdered last year too. At the end of the year, they were
Wait, what?
camping out by Mount Ord,
Wait, those
and
were like,
yeah, you know about that shit?
oh
It was
yeah,
like a
man.
17-year-old kids. They were found in a fucking tent, like gunshot wounds and shit.
Yeah.
So those kids went to her school. They were like her friends and shit.
What the fuck,
Yeah,
dude?
not like super close, but like acquaintances,
Close
whatever, high school,
enough,
right? Like you
like
guys all
for
know
it
each other
to,
and shit. And
yeah.
so I'm like trying to process that. I'm like, fuck, dude. Camping? Like they were just camping? Doing normal shit? Like that's I'd rather have my kids out camping than in her room playing on fucking social media. Like
Yeah.
when did camping become dangerous? And so kids dying in car crashes, man. You know,
Yeah.
like kid rolls the ATV and this girl flies out halfway and breaks her back and she fucking dies, man. Spinal injury, like she dies on the scene, and she was like my younger daughter or no, my middle daughter's age, and I'm like, dude, like all these things happen, right? They're like all of a sudden now I'm just like, fuck, I gotta like protect you from everything, you know? Like
Yeah.
you can't go on ATVs, you can't go camping, you can't go here, you can't do that. But I mean, dude, like the reality is that's a very small sample size. And just because
Yeah.
you hear about it, and just because it's out there, and because it can happen, like, do I shelter my kids? You know, like you can't kick it with boys because they all want to fuck. Like, it's gonna happen at some point in time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna happen, bro. I can't stop that from happening. I'm not gonna encourage it. I'm not gonna like dissuade her from doing it. But I'm also gonna be very honest and real about it because, man, if people don't talk about shit, then they're left to their own devices and social media to guide them through their first sexual experience. You know,
Yeah,
which
you don't
is
want the
terrifying.
internet raising your kids, man. And I don't
Yeah, bro.
have any doubt in my mind that like your kids have a good head on their shoulders, man. Like I've known you
Yeah.
for years, man, and like, you know, I think we get really self-critical and we kind of overanalyze, and I think it's just, you know, baked into us because we want more out of life. So we're
Yeah.
kind of some of those people that like do something and then reiterate and tinker and refine, and that process just repeats with everything that we do and we touch. So when you put someone like that into a situation like parenting, man, where so much of it is out of your control, like you essentially are casting like the bowling ball down the lane and trying to put the bumpers up to the best of your ability, but like that ball's going to go where it's going to go. And you kind of sit there with your fingers crossed, man, and guide the best that you can along the way. But at some point, man, it's just scary because I mean, life's gonna happen, dude. Like life is a precious thing, and like it's sad that they've lost friends as young as they have too, and they've had to process that and go through that, man. Like I there was yeah, I had a couple of friends pass in high school in
Drug
similar
addicts shooting
situations.
dope, drinking and
Yeah,
driving and shit like that, dude. Like it's about the time of age where people start learning that and feeling the pain of life and the real fucked up things that happen. I guess part of the joy for me that I'm starting to realize, like at this point now in the last like year or two, is I'm raising them to be independent. I'm not raising
yeah,
them to need me to do these, you know, certain things a way that's going to be pleasing to me. Like in a couple months, my daughter could tell me, "Hey, I'm moving out, and I'm going to move in with my boyfriend." Obviously, we would have a conversation. I don't think it would ever go like that, but in theory, like by law, she is an 18-year-old adult who can make decisions. She can open up these types of accounts and do these things. And what have I prepared her for? Right? Is she ready? Does she know what to do in a stressful situation? Like, can she change that tire? Does she know when somebody's trying to take advantage of her? Does she know how to exit out of an unpredictable situation, whatever the case may be? You know what I mean? And so I think a lot of people like raise their kids and like do a lot for their kids, and the kids need you to do shit. And my responsibility is to raise young adults and get people ready for society, not to hide them from everything and shield them from everything. The reality is, no matter how hard you try, you can't. And the more you try
yeah,
to do it, the more they're gonna push back too, bro. Like, fuck, bro. The last thing I want is a kid to cut me out of her fucking life, and like all of a
yeah,
sudden I'm finding shit out from like one of my daughters about my other daughter, and there's, oh, she was too scared to tell you. But like, fuck, bro. That would suck. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like getting information about your kids third hand, bro, would be
Mm.
that'd be fucking crazy. But I got like, you know, my oldest daughter's working already. She's worked a couple jobs. My middle daughter's about to start working next year. I'm about to start teaching her how to drive next year. I mean, that I don't know. To me, it's already it's fucking baffling. It's hard to process that.
It's cool though, man, because I see the joy when you start talking about your family, man, and
Oh, they're great. Yeah.
it's so cool to see, man, because I don't know, man. I don't want to say that people don't look at raising kids in that positive of a light as you do all the time, but like it's not as common of a conversation that I come across with as many people that are like, man, my kids are awesome. I love spending time. Like, I think that's a really special bond that you've got with your family, man, and it's just so cool to watch.
I mean, bro, it's not something everybody gets to experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for a lot of people, like, kids are an inconvenience, man. It stopped me, it derailed me from following my dreams. Or I was going to be an acrobat until I got pregnant with you, and then you ruined my body. I'm like, like, you've heard all that shit before, man. I'm like, dude, get over yourselves, man. Maybe you were never fucking built for excellence anyways, and you were going to empower this little shorty so that they could be built for excellence. Like, play your part, man, and be grateful for what you got. Because honestly, like, I watch motherfuckers with special needs kids, bro. You imagine how hard that shit would be?
Yeah,
Like, knowing
man.
that the little kid's never probably going to leave your fucking home, and you're going to always be a caretaker. Like, and certainly not saying it in a derogatory way like it's an inconvenience or something, but like very few people are built for that kind of pressure and that kind of stress and that kind of
Yeah.
ongoing, like, long-term care. Like, you got a healthy kid, bro, be grateful. You got a kid
Life's
that
good.
wants you in their life, be grateful, bro. You got a kid that's willing to talk to you and tell you how they feel, bro, be fucking grateful. Because I was a sneaky little secretive motherfucker, bro. People be like, yo, where were you up to? I'm like, nothing. That was cool. Great. I didn't even fucking go, but it was awesome. So
Yeah.
I do feel blessed that the relationship that I have with the shorties is way fucking different. There's certain things that are annoying and shit, but I'm like, dude, say love you, man. Like, get us dogs, Dad. We'll do anything. We'll clean up the shit. Oh, I just want a buddy. Man, now I got 3 dogs sleeping on my fucking bed, and I can't get them out, and I can't get any space, and these kids ain't cleaning up shit. I like
Yep.
beg them to put water in a bowl. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, that's I guess kind of how it goes, right?
Yep, absolutely, man.
But yeah, dude, these little fucking dogs too. One of them's got a eye injury, dude, and dude, French bulldogs. Man, these guys set me back a fat ass knot. I tell you what I bought them for, bro, but I've got like $80,000 dogs over here, bro, for sure.
Jesus,
The
dude.
amount of money that's gone into fucking being a pet owner.
Dude, we recently just adopted another cat, actually, and so we've got one cat at home, and then we're kind of going through the process of getting those. Have you ever like gone through the process of getting two cats like introduced in the same house?
Maybe, but like not something that has happened recently enough that I'm familiar with it. But I'm sure it's just a fucking awful transition.
Bro, it's ridiculous. You got to like have them sniffing each other under the door and like doing all this stuff. Like you got to, it's like a 3-day process of getting them integrated into the home, this whole thing. And it's like this all started because, we're sitting there and Cooper's got, boo-boo eyes looking at us. I want another cat.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
dude. I'll do
all right,
anything.
man.
I'll do anything. I'll take care of a litter box in my room.
Yep.
Man, shit. Yeah, it's tough. But I don't know, man. Something about the bond with animals, I think, is like really important for kids to experience. In like kind of some weird, morbid, fucked up way. It, like, teaches them about like mortality and death. Like, obviously, like, cats and dogs don't live that long. So it's a way to introduce them to the realities of being attached to some being, and
Yeah.
and that not lasting for an extended period of time. Depending on how the animal dies, though, that can be some really catastrophic shit, dude. Like, dog gets hit by a
dude.
car or some shit, bro. Like,
Yep.
we all picture ourselves and our loved ones and our animals all just like closing their eyes peacefully and just never waking back up, and you like give them this amazing burial, but bro, that ain't always how shit goes down. You go out back and there's just like a couple drops of blood and a fucking eagle swooped up the cat and is gone. You're just like, oh fuck, shit.
That's it, man.
Oh, dude, there's like quite a few eagles that like perch in the back over here. Thank God I got like big ass fat French bulldogs, dude. They're like, I call them land hippos, bro. They're just like little footballs with legs. But
Oh, I ain't going anywhere.
yeah, I don't think an eagle's taking them. They'd be like, yo, that's just like a sandbag, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lift them up. So
Dude, it was tough, man. We recently had to navigate the loss thing with Cooper.
oof.
So Tay's stepmom recently passed. She had intestinal cancer. It was quick, man, and
Like, quick,
think,
and from when you
like,
found out to
like 18 months, yeah.
oof.
And so we've kind of been having to navigate that with him and try to give him a framework of dealing with that and grief and everything, dude. And it's never an easy conversation, man. And we, like, I know you and I have talked about this, but we don't really have like religion as a backbone in the home. Like we don't do that as a family. So trying to discuss and explain to him, man, that, you know, she's gone, and trying to explain where and all of that, man, it's kind of like we were talking about right before we got on the call, man. Like I'm trying not to give him like a sense of how finite all of this is, but I think he's kind of starting to get a sense of it, because shortly thereafter, man, he started kind of hitting me with some of these like existential questions, man. And he was like, we're driving home from picking him up from school one day, and he kind of looks at me like, and it's the format of it is like funny to look back on now, but this coming out of his mouth was like so jarring. But he looks at me and goes, Dad, have you ever just kind of looked around and thought, you know, like, what are we all doing here? And I was like,
about 45 minutes ago, kiddo. Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's fucking, I mean, bro, his fucking mind's opening. It can go literally any direction, man.
Yeah.
Any direction, dude. Keep him interested, man. Keep him asking those questions. Give him some fucking books. Put him in front of, like, really cool shows, dude. Like, because the reality is we need more people asking questions like that.
Yeah.
And doing recon and soul searching. Most people are just like, yo, it was on the internet, so I believe it. Or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, floating along.
They'll accept any answer.
Right.
But free thinkers and independent thinkers, bro, man, that's my middle daughter for sure. She's fucking dope, bro.
Yeah.
She's hella smart. She just sees things different. You know, and that's unfortunate for school because she doesn't feel challenged, and I don't feel like she's like stimulated enough, and I also don't have papered in like enough to put her in like a school that would like really like, you know, private school or something that would challenge her. So I don't want to like shackle her growth, but I'm like, yo, how was school? She's like, lame. You know, learning shit that I knew 2 years ago, man. It's just it's not what it was, you know. So I feel bad for her, but dude, she's like bound by nothing. And she's really, really clever, and like really like she's very witty when she speaks. And so I feel like she struggles to connect with people because she's on like a different like kind of like more adult type of humor and just kind of like sense of awareness. And so she'll like say some shit to kids, and it's just like
they're like,
yeah, it just falls flat, and she's like, okay, airball. That's her favorite thing to say. She's like, big airball. That's pretty dope. But yeah, dude, I don't know, man. Like with death, dude, like the conversation of God has to come up at some point in time. Somebody brings it up, right? Like, oh my God, this person's dead. Where'd they go? And most people say, heaven.
Yeah.
Right? Grandma went to heaven. She went to heaven. Why? Because I know it in my heart. Because I have faith that that's what happened. Because that's where great people go. And the reality is, man, like, if you fuck with religion, you know that the only people that are going to heaven are people that are like super believers in whatever religion they believe in, and they have to practice and be like heavily involved. It's not like you're just like, yo, I think God's real, so I'm going to heaven. Like you have to kind of like live a certain lifestyle to be able to enter heaven if you believe in all that shit, right? So, but it's an easy thing to say to shut a kid up. Like, yo, shut the fuck up, they're in heaven. God's up there because I said so, and you know, I'm sorry you're hurting, kid. Let's get ice cream. You know,
here's
but
a
then
Band-Aid real quick.
Yeah, but then every once in a while you get another kid that's more intuitive, more inquisitive, wants to know more. Like, what's heaven?
Yeah.
Who's God? You know, what's he all about? What's he represent? How do you know she's there? Can I talk to her again? Can I see her again? You're like, fuck, dude. All these questions, man. I'm like a little sweaty palms, bro. I'm like, I'm prepared to answer these. What's interesting is my wife, dude, obviously from Mexico City, and we set up this thing called an ofrenda, which is like an offering for the dead people that, you know, are your relatives or close family and stuff like that, to be remembered. You ever see that movie Coco?
Oh, dude, of course. Yeah.
So it's like, remember me, and they set up the ofrenda. You hear my dog over here, dude? I swear to God, he's like fucking puking because of like tap water. What a baby, bro. What a baby. But
he's like, all this universe talk, Dad. It's fucking making me sick.
Dude, I'm gonna get this little fool so you can see him. He's a really handsome boy. I love this guy, but dude, he is just a fucking disaster, bro. The type of guy that, like, dude, if he was a person, he'd like shart often, you know? Totally. Like fucking just puke when he coughs. But the ofrenda's dope too, because you set up a table, and then you set up like certain flowers, you set up candles, you set up photos of them, and then you offer like whatever their favorite food was. So I think that's really special. It's really cool. It's a good way to like keep people top of mind. Their memory lives. In heaven, I don't know, man. Like wherever it is that you believe, but they live through us in memory here at this home. You set up an ofrenda. It gives you an opportunity to reflect on photos and stuff like that. You set up like their favorite meal, which is kind of fucking nasty actually, because after like 2 days, you're like, bro, that shit like fucking tamales stink, dog. Like throw that shit away, bro. Fuck, who the fuck put beans over here, bro? Like no lid and shit. My dad lost his mom and dad, my grandma and grandpa, and my
Mm.
wife thought it would be really cool to like invite him in to do this and set up an ofrenda, and so we did that for his mom and dad, my grandparents. And bro, that shit was like moving for him. It meant a lot to him. And the
Yeah.
kids remember that. They see the affection and the effect that it had on him. And so I think that's like something that might end up being like more of a custom for them as they get a little bit older too, you know?
Just gives them a little bit of comfort.
Yeah, and it's a way to annually remember and honor the person, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't have to just be like, oh, yeah, it was their birthday, or oh, they died on this day and I'm sad. It's like, yo, this is a celebration and these are the things that we remember about you. Because nobody wants to be that dude that was like disappearing and shit. It's fucking awful, bro. Like, nobody remembers me, man. Like, dude, nobody's got a photo. You don't know that I love In and Out, bro. Throw a double double up on that bitch and look at your boy. Like, smile on me.
What's up?
You know, smile on me.
It's hard too, man, because like one thing I've noticed with parenting specifically is like they'll, as the kids are getting older and all of this different stuff is coming up and they're starting to feel all these things and starting to ask all these questions, like I start doing the same thing. And so I start questioning my beliefs, man. And
For sure,
it's
bro.
one of those, like we were even talking before we had like started recording where it's like I get so uncomfortable thinking about how vast space is and like just the extent of it and just how small thinking about the universe like in its entirety makes me feel. And
Yeah,
then
dude.
it's even kind of like bringing, what we were talking about like a little bit full circle where it's like, what the fuck am I so worried about all the time? Like there is so much at play and going on such a grand scale of everything that like you get so locked into this zoomed in version of what you're doing, what you're going through and all this different stuff that like there's almost this like duality to it, right? Like it scares the shit out of me because it's so vast and expansive and huge and like feels there's no comprehending like wrapping your head
Yeah,
about
it's
how
true.
like how expansive the universe is. And I feel the same way about death, man. Like what the fuck does it mean like when my heart stops beating and like my plane of consciousness isn't existing here anymore? Like that shit scares me, dude. But at the same time, when I look at it, I'm like, this is all going to come to an end at some point. So I'm like, I just
Yeah,
want to enjoy this current moment.
not too far off some point, too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
our lifespan is pretty fucking quick in the frame of time itself. There's like 15 different things I want to say, bro. Like, okay, I was born in Washington State. I lived north of Seattle in this little ass fucking town where my parents bought property from my mom's dad, built their own cabin, went some straight up like fucking Huckleberry Finn shit, bro, and built our crib. Like all my aunts and uncles and everybody was over. My uncles and my grandpa helped us build a house. No running water, no electricity, none of that shit until I was like almost 9 when my parents got divorced.
What?
Dude, yeah, so tons of shit to talk
You were a
about there.
little house on the prairie, bro.
Correct, yeah, tons of shit to talk about there. But looking in the sky in a place like that, where we were like, dude, we were probably like 13 miles from the closest fucking like, a little town store or whatever. Bro, you could see everything. You could see fucking everything, bro. Like every star constellation you could ever fucking visualize seeing, you could see it. Shooting stars like every like 8 seconds. It's overwhelming. It's over fucking whelming to like look up there and go, I wonder what. Because bro, if you can imagine it, yeah, it's probably fucking out there. Bro, like what are you talking about, dude? If each of those things is like a planet or a massive like exploding fucking star or a different galaxy or whatever, bro, like you can only see what the naked eye can see. And that's a fucking ton, but it's still like just a snapshot, right? And so, yeah, you talk about like planet Earth and like what we got going on here. I'm like, oh yeah, dude, we're definitely small fish. People are like, oh, I wonder if there's aliens out there. I'm like, bitch, have you ever looked up? Like, you think we're like the most alpha thing in the entire universe? Are you kidding me, dude? Like, we as people, I think, are like pretty we're selfish, man. And
Yeah.
we get caught up in it, right? And so when we try to like focus on like, holy shit, how big is the world and universe, and is there a god in this? Like, it's overwhelming, bro. You can't comprehend it. And so here comes like insert the angry man who doesn't know how to process too much information. It's like, fuck, there's no fucking god. There's no aliens. Like, oh, this is all fucking bullshit. But I don't know, man. Like, you look around, bro. There's something out there. It's hard for me to picture one person responsible or one being responsible for all of it, because science is a motherfucker, bro.
Yeah, that's a weird one too.
Yeah, science is a motherfucker, man. And I don't know, man. Like, you think about how long people live, dude. Like, it's a small snapshot, bro. We were just talking about this too, like on the phone.
Hmm.
After about a century, bro, like your whole memory is like already fucking gone. Everything that you did, where you came from, all that shit, like your kids will remember, and their kids will remember because you'll be, a grandparent. But the next generation, your kids' kids, their children will probably not know who you are. They might know of you, but they won't know anything about you or who you were or what your journey was or who Taylor was. And the same thing for me and my family. Not certainly like, saying you specifically, motherfucker. But it's crazy because we feel so important, right?
Yeah.
Like, how could things possibly go on without us? Like, we're making fucking history. We're making waves here. But dude, it's like the smallest little snapshot in the length of time and the impact that we actually have. It's fucking crazy to think about that. And that's when too, like, it starts to become overwhelming and the kids are asking questions. You're like, I don't fucking know. I don't know. Here's a tablet. Shut up. Stop asking me fucking shit. It's just
I
tough.
do my best to entertain Coop with this stuff, man. I really do. And like not scare him at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like it's a delicate conversation to have, man, because like you said, man, if there's anything that is almost more freeing than the understanding that like in 100 years, no one's going to remember any of this shit. Like any of it. No one's going to remember what you were up to, what you were doing. Like, so that time that you were, threw up in the middle of class or whatever, like stop fucking worrying about it so much, man. Like just live your life and like live it for you, man. Like if you're out there doing anything for anybody other than yourself, like it's not going to work. And it's another thing that ties back into the sobriety thing too, man. Like I've had people reach out and they're like, man, my girlfriend said if I don't fucking get my shit together, she's going to leave me. I'm like, she's going to leave you, dude. And you're not going to make this happen. Cause like, you're not doing it for you. You got to do it for you, or this is going to completely fall apart, man. Like there is no solution to this without like you being the reason for doing all of this, man. And it's crazy because like we just constantly get in our own ways and overthink shit. And just even launching this podcast, dude, like I've been overthinking this for so long. And like you and I have talked about it, man, where it's like, oh, I want it to look like this, or I want it to function this way and feel like this, and I want these people to come on, and it's like, I just got to do the damn thing.
Yeah, it's impossible to not overthink shit, man. Like, we want a certain thing, a certain way. We have certain expectations of how we expect things to evolve and turn out and what we're capable of, and when they don't go that way, it's frightening and frustrating and all those things in between. But the reality is, man, like, you kind of got to roll with the punches and just put yourself out there and navigate shit, and you'll figure your path, man. People going sober like, oh, I got to do it for this person or that person, or like, I got to salvage this relationship. Bro, damn well you lose most of those relationships. They're just not sustainable, man. You become a different person. And the things that you value most in life, you might not end up valuing at all as time progresses and as your sobriety continues, So, I don't know. Yeah, it's true, man. Like, what would you do if you knew that you only had 5 years to live? What would be important to you? Where would your focus be? Like, I would dive fully into my family, my kids, my wife. I'd probably travel a little bit. Like, I'd take things on the chin. I wouldn't take things personal. I would enjoy the small things in life. I'd probably spend a lot of time like at the ocean or in the forest, like enjoying Earth's natural beauty. And like, people don't do that shit a lot. Like, when's the last time you laid in grass, bro?
Yeah.
Like, laying in grass is fucking amazing. Like, slightly itchy if you're wearing the wrong clothes and shit. But I'm like, yeah, bro. Laying in the grass, there's something like, I don't know, you're like at peace, like you're one with like the world and your surroundings and shit, like you realize how little all the other shit matters. My wife and I went for a drive out to Four Peaks, and not even to do shooting, just like the temperature was cool. We're like, yo, let's go check it out. And we went out there and found like a little turnoff with like a little trail. I'm like, oh, maybe there's water up here, let's go for a little hike up there about half hour. We find this big ass rock and we sit on the rock, and nothing, bro.
Yeah.
It's peaceful. There's nothing out there. There's no fucking noise of the city. There's nothing weird smelling. You hear birds. Like, you could hear a fucking bee buzzing by like 15 feet away, bro. It was like so peaceful. I'm like, damn, this kind of puts life into perspective, right? Like, we get so caught up in all the like little details and all the little random things and how this person made your life challenging at work and the car needs new tires and shit, like all the stresses of life, bro, they all go away. And you realize, holy shit, like, yeah, that's all man-made stress. None of that shit actually matters, bro.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That's something that's definitely been a driving factor with the choice in trail running. Like, as I've
Bro, I bet your shit's crazy, bro. I've seen videos of you fucking just like in the middle of nowhere, just running, bro. It's like, it's the strangest concept. Dude, I've asked you a couple different questions to try to like grasp it and wrap my head around it. I'm like, yo, dude, like at what point do you start like self-sabotaging, telling you that you can't do this, bro? And like, dude, I went for a run like not long ago and I was like, holy shit, I am a bitch, bro. I did not make it very far before I was like, I'm tired. I should slow down and probably just go home. And I'm not going to be able to do this. And so talking to you, I'm like, yo, dude, like, you're running 100 miles, bro? 200 miles? What the fuck? I didn't even drive that far.
It's hard to encapsulate sometimes, man. Like, there's so much that goes on in your mind during those races. Like, there's a cool saying that's like, running 100 miles is like 20 years of therapy packed into 24 hours. And it's true, man. Cause you're out there and, you know, sometimes you've got like music to at least distract you, or you've got a pacer with you to kind of keep your mind off of things. But there's been times that I'm out for long runs or doing races or anything like that. And it can kick in as quickly as like 15 to 20 miles. And you're not even a quarter of the way through the race or whatever the event is that you're doing. And like, the mental stuff starts happening already. Like, you can't do this. Like, there was a point during the first 50 miler that I did, and I remember having this conversation with myself out on the trail, and I was looking back on like wrestling matches and jiu-jitsu matches and things like that I'd competed in the past. And it doesn't seem like it, but in combat sports situations like that, you can kind of spot with a trained eye when a guy can mentally break and start looking for his way out of there. And I've done that during wrestling matches and even jiu-jitsu matches that I've been in as an adult. And I remember having a conversation with myself that was like, you managed to find your way out of so many things in the past. You're not fucking doing that today. So yeah, there's a mental resilience that you kind of develop doing these events that are longer events like that. Anytime that it's 24 hours, 100 miles, 12 hours, anything like that, man. And it gives you this resilience where it's like, I've suffered for 25 hours straight at one of the last 100 milers that I did. And it gives you a little bit of a wedge that you can kind of use going into like, man, I'm just fucking tired. I don't really feel like doing this at work today. And you've got that like little bit of a backstop to kind of fall up against where it's like, dude, I've done this. I can hammer out a couple hours of work. Like, no big deal. So I try to use it.
Like a one more rep mentality, huh?
Yeah, exactly, man. Just one foot in front of the other for a little bit longer. Next aid station.
Yeah. And the person that like comes through and like hypes you up and runs with you for a little bit is your spotter.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yep.
And you listen to music when you're running?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. If I'm on like a good trail that is kind of keeping me interested, yeah, I'll run without music for stuff like that, because I can kind of get into like a little bit of a cadence with my breathing and like that crunchy sound that your feet make when you're running on like dirt and rocks and everything like that. It becomes really, really meditative. But if I'm doing like a flat run on the road or something like that, like doing speed work, like tempo intervals that are like really, really high intensity, like I'm fucking blaring music, like 100%, man. Dude, usually it's funny because I go all the way from like my running playlist. I'll share it on the show notes so people can kind of get a feel of what this running playlist entails, dude. But it goes from like,
I know it's pop, bro. Don't even lie.
Dude, there's fucking, I've got K-pop Demon Hunters on there, baby. So like there's
people that work out, bro, listen to fucking pop music, man.
Yeah. So there's that, there's house music. I've got like Waylon Jennings shit on there sometimes that like, I don't know, just kind of does the trick. House music, like metal, like hard, like death metal shit. Oh yeah.
I love that kind of shit. You know what's funny, bro? I was listening to fucking country music out of nowhere. I just like came across a couple songs. I was like, oh, I could actually kind of fuck with this. Maybe it's like a mental thing or like where I'm at in my life. But Waylon Jennings came along. I was like, yo, this guy's got a dope ass voice. Like his voice is fucking cool, bro. Like I want to light up a smoke and like punch a buffalo in the fucking mouth, bro. And so I'm like, I know I've heard this motherfucker's voice before, bro. And I'm like listening. I'm like, dude, I know I've heard this guy before. And then sure enough, like the Dukes of Hazzard theme song came on. And it's like, it's just them good old boys. I fucking knew it, bro. I knew this motherfucker, man. Two things, bro. Is my camera all fucked up and fuzzy?
It kind of switched over when your audio cut out. Like it
And do I look bald, bro? Look at the size of that forehead, man. What the fuck? That shit is going away, bro. That's what kids offered, huh? It was fucking my receding
That's
hairline.
parenting. That's what everybody who's considering having kids or has young kids, that's what you got to look forward to.
That's some shit. Let me get some light on up in here. Maybe that's what it is. Jesus, man.
My boy's got a full head of hair. Don't be fooled.
Yeah, let me get some light on it. See, it's up there. It's up there. Fuck, dude. Let's see. Maybe that's better. Once I sit down, we'll check it out. But yeah, with the slightly better with the running gig, dude. I think that it's a self battle that most people aren't willing to take on. I think that the amount of discipline that it takes to not submit when your body is so fucking fatigued, because your mind will just immediately turn on you and you start like cannibalizing like all your own thoughts. Bro, I've tried it a couple times and it's fucking hard. Yeah. It's hard. Like, not everybody is built for that shit, bro. And I know you say it's like super rewarding. Is that why it's rewarding? What's the reward for you running? Is it bragging rights getting to the finish? Is it like, I mean, there's got to be something, bro. Like, there's got to be more than just the act of like moving your legs back and forth, because, bro, I've ran, man. It's not that fucking dope. What is it, bro? What's the actual fucking gain here?
It's a lot of the personal development side, man.
I can see that, yeah.
Similar to what you were saying about your journey when you had first gotten sober. I didn't know who I was, and I wanted to be somebody that my family could be proud of. And so I started kind of seeking out different things, and at first I started doing jiu-jitsu again, and I noticed that there was a little bit too much of a ego spark that kind of lit in me. Like, dude, I think having wrestled all through high school and college and everything like that, there's no part of me that's ever stepping onto a mat and not wanting to just like punish. Cause like that's wrestling, man. Like, in a nutshell, dude, it's, you're seeing who's going to break first mentally. And I don't know how to turn that off when I'm in like a grappling environment. So I kept getting hurt and competing and all this shit, and it just wasn't feeling like it was what I needed in terms of trying to find myself after getting sober. You know, like I was saying, I combed through my social medias and I was looking back on stuff that, like, what did I like to do before I was a fucking drunk piece of shit? And I came across hunting, actually, and I was like, I want to start hunting again. So my dad and I put in for an elk hunt. I ended up getting drawn that year, luckily enough. Like, state of Arizona, that's fucking unheard of.
Yeah.
And I wind up just trying to find some stuff on Instagram, like, you know, hunting resources, like, you know, I didn't remember how to gut or skin or anything like that. Like, how am I going to break this thing down? And I came across Cam Haines, and he's a hunter, but he's also an ultra runner, and like really big on like the personal development side of all of this stuff. And one of the books that I had read when I had first gotten sober was David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me. And I wasn't inspired to run by that book at all. It was just more of like, I enjoyed the mindset side of everything. Like, you got to kind of kill the person that you were. And it's not necessarily it's not a sobriety book at all, but I was able to kind of take the lessons that he channeled to like turn himself into Goggins from like David Goggins, and kind of recreate myself as like a sober person. And I come across Cam's stuff and I'm like, this guy's a fucking ultra runner too. Like, what is this? And so that was what kind of sparked it, man. And then COVID had hit, and there's one day that I'm sitting at the house and I look at Tay, and we had just put Coop down for a nap because I think he was probably 2 or 3 years old at that point. And I grabbed an Arrowhead water bottle. I had like a pair of like shitty Nike shoes, and I just took off. And so I'm going in a straight line, and I'm not realizing that I have to turn around and return to the house. And so I go 5 miles out, and I'm like, fuck, dude, I have to get all the way back to the house. So I end up running all the way back to the house, and I end up finishing this 10-mile run just like out of the blue. And I was like, I feel fucking great, man. Like, that was hard. There was like all these different like highs and lows to it, where it's like there was a couple points in time where it's like I can't move my legs, and then you snap out of that. Yeah. And you kind of power through that. And I remember just understanding kind of early on that it's not always going to get worse. And that's one of the biggest things that you have to tell yourself in an ultra race, man, is like, there is a certain point that you hit where like this is as much as it's going to hurt. Not necessarily always going to get like better from there, but it's not going to dip any lower. And so the baseline kind of drops down to that, and then you find ways to climb out of that. And I think that's where it's been so attractive to me, man. Like it's taken a turn sometimes, and I have to like reel myself back in because I've just got a competitive spirit and I want to perform well. But recently, these next couple races that I have coming up, like the focus is very much to explore the mind, explore myself, grow as a person during these things, and do some stuff that feels unfathomably tough to accomplish and go do them.
So are there places in this race? Like first, second, third, and so on and so forth?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Do you place?
I've only placed once, and I ended up winning the race that I placed at. So, yeah.
Oh, that's fucking dope.
It was cool.
How does it feel to be competitive and not place? Is that like a defeat for you, or do you take that as an L, or are you upset about that?
No, it depends. It depends on the race. So my first 100-miler Coldwater, I finished in about 25 hours, and I think I was like 21st or something like that.
25 hours in a row?
Yeah, straight, continuous.
Man.
So
that's fucking crazy to think.
That was a victory, man, because like I'd been trying to get a 100-mile buckle under my belt, and like every time I would sign up for a race, something would come up or it would fall apart.
Bruh.
And I was finally able to get that monkey off my back, man, and that felt good.
I don't think most people realize how far 100 miles is. It kind of rolls off the tongue, 100 miles.
Right.
How far is 100 miles?
It comes in stages.
Yeah.
I think the
you
first...
give yourself landmarks? Are you like, I just got to make it to that tree. I got to make it to that rock. I got to get to like this corner.
I think the nice thing is with ultra races is like there's aid stations, right? So I know every 7 to 15 miles, there's going to be a spot that I can get to and like refill my water and collect myself and refresh and like kind of move on from there. It's like kind of like quarterback mentality, man. Like you get through that section, get to an aid station, hit the mental reset, and then like go back into it.
Is it like that? I mean, how long do you rest for?
It depends on how deep you are into the race, dude. Mm-hmm. Like my first couple aid station turnarounds were like a couple seconds. Like I was hot swapped, pack in and out of there. And then it turned into like later in the race, like 15, 20 fucking minutes that I'm hanging out trying to regroup,
you piss
man.
Yourself when you're running?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, fool.
Yeah.
So you just let that shit mob out.
You stop and pee like on the side of the trail. There's even like a thing where people are like, some of these dudes like, because you're in the middle of nowhere and there's nowhere like anybody around you, so you just fucking whip it out and run and pee while you're fucking moving.
People shit while they're running?
Yeah, side of the trail and shit. Yeah, there's porta potties at all the aid stations.
You're not like running and shitting at the same time.
No, like Ironman, I would say more than ultra running. Like Ironman competitors are like they're notorious on the bike for like they'll just fucking piss themselves.
On the bike, ugh. Is it their own bike?
Dude, yeah. Or like during the swim, I guess. Like you're wet from the swim, so I guess they just call it.
Everybody piss in the water. I don't care what you say. Everybody piss in the water.
Yeah.
Have you done one of those?
No.
Would you do one?
I don't think so, man. I can't swim.
At all?
I'm a terrible swimmer. Yeah, I would sink like a rock.
Yeah, boo. That's funny shit. I was just talking to my wife about that too. I'm like, yo, I don't know how to swim. Like, I know how to like not drown for a limited time, but I'm not getting in late and just fucking like, fucking swimming away. And she's like, yeah, I'm not like super comfortable either. I'm like, yo, let's take swimming lessons next year. So we're gonna take some swimming lessons next year, which would be actually kind of cool because we get to do it together and just kind of see where it goes, man. But who knows? Maybe I'll find my ultra running in some type of like long distance swimming or something.
Dude,
things have happened.
That's awesome, man. Maybe it is like the catalyst that's gonna kind of open up this like new journey for you, man. Because I'm telling you, dude, like I think it'd be really good. Like I've got 2 things that I feel like everybody should do in their lifetime. I think everybody should have to work in a restaurant at some point. Mm-hmm. And I think everybody should try to do some sort of like endurance endeavor just to like, I think those 2 things over the course of my life have taught me more about myself than anything else, man.
Yeah. The combat of mind over matter, battling oneself is insane. Not a lot of people have had to do it. Well, a lot of people have had to do it, but not a lot of people have experienced it. Not a lot of people have become victorious on the other side of that, which is pretty crazy. I definitely think that everybody should serve in our military. Like, no
Yeah.
bullshit. And in some way, shape, or form, like, not everybody needs to go to war or any of that shit, but I think everybody should serve. Like, I love what, like, Israel does, where you have to do at least, like, 2 years. I think South Korea does it or some shit like that, too, where, like, if you're a citizen, bro, you're born there, like, you got to do a couple years in the military, man. Like, you got to fight for this country and shit in some way. It might be a desk job. It might be pushing papers or doing something, but I don't know. I think that, like, that creates, like, an understanding of, like, the government and why it's important to be a citizen and understand it and be a participant when it comes to shit going on.
I think it kind of unifies everybody. Like, you get everybody working towards, like, a singular objective or working on something together like that. And dude, it's kind of like working behind the bar or in a restaurant with people, man. Like, those are different relationships that you build
For sure.
during those times, man, because you're spending more time with those people than you do with your family half the time, man. And
Yeah.
especially if you're behind the bar, that's such tight quarters, dude. You get to know people in ways that sometimes you didn't want to, man.
Yeah, and it's a smaller team too. I mean, even in your biggest bar format, I mean, the most people you're gonna have on, like, a bar team is approximately 15, unless you're doing, like, some big boy casino shit and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But
Yep.
I mean, 15 people, man, go in and day out and rely on each other to set each other up for success, man. Like, it. Yeah, bro. You learn communication skills pretty quick too, bro.
Yeah, it's communication, accountability, all of that stuff, man. Like, there's nothing worse than going into open the day after a shift and understanding that nobody wanted to do their part the night before, shutting everything down for you, man.
Yeah, dude, that's just tough, man. Yeah, I got my oldest in restaurants right now. She's worked it, but now that she's, like, a couple years in, she's like, bro, I don't want to work in restaurants anymore. I'm like, fuck, thank you.
You're like,
Thank
hallelujah.
you. Yeah. I mean, that's great, dude. I don't want that for her long term. If she found, like, crazy gratification and found it, like, really rewarding and it was lucrative enough. But, dude, like, things are changing. The way people dine is changing, bro. The way restaurants operate is changing. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot that the field that we grew up in has evolved into, and I don't know if it'll ever return to what it once was, you know?
You're currently an operator for a lot of different places here in town right now. Like, what are you seeing as a shift? What have you kind of noticed?
Well, costs are up, man. Like, the cost of labor is up, I want to say 30% since 2020, which is astronomical. I mean, your two biggest costs as a restaurant owner and operator is, like, your food and beverage cost, and your labor cost. So one of those being up 30% is huge. Not to mention the beverage cost is also up, pretty significant, but food cost is up about 29% since 2020. So with the 60% overall, like, cost, it's fucking hard to operate. Not to mention the next generation has officially, like, entered the workforce. So with that comes, like, a lot of hands-on training and development and people who have no experience. Whereas before there was, like, a pretty large, significant size pool pit for you to pull great talent out of. Now it's who are you willing to invest in? Because it's a hard reset for a lot of these younger individuals. And then, of course, the way people dine, bro, is changing. The way people dine, like, I'm happy to say that, like, a lot of people that I know are eating healthier, drinking less, pay more attention to fitness and stuff. But that's way different from going out to restaurants and getting, a steak and some buttery ass mashed potatoes and a bunch of appetizers and drinking your face off, and then all of a sudden, you're spending, $250. If you want to dine like that, now you're going to spend $450. And most people aren't dining like that. Oftentimes, kids are, dude, like, they're just trying to pick up some to-go food, bro. They want to come through. They want to order some shit on their phone. They want to have no interaction. They, like, walk in like this. They're not even looking at you. They come in, they grab a bag, and they walk out.
Yeah.
And it's just different, dude. Like, what we know as hospitality, because it's not a restaurant, it's a hospitality organization, is that I'm connected with you, right? Like, you come sit at my bar. My responsibility is to be a culinary tour guide. I'm going to navigate this experience. I'm going to guide you through this menu. I'm going to provide some exceptional drinks that you've never even had. I'm going to give you some really cool stuff that you've maybe never even had the opportunity to taste. I'm going to tell you about it, why we use it, how we use it. Like, it's an exchange, bro. It's like an experience. And now a lot of people just, A, either don't want that, B, can't afford that, or C, the restaurant establishment itself doesn't provide that. And so there's just a lot of change, man. And honestly, I think that's why there's probably, like, a mass exodus for people around our age, because we're like, things have changed so dramatically. I'm no longer connected to what it's like now. If you went back and you jump behind the stick, you'd probably be fulfilled for, like, a couple weeks, because you'd be like, yo, this is fucking fun, and I forgot how good I am at this. And then it would fizzle out pretty quick, and you'd be like, this sucks.
Yeah.
I'm not rewarded by doing this. So.
It's funny you mentioned the need for training in talent pools, man, because one thing that I'm noticing is a little bit of a trend that I'm seeing from friends of mine that are operators is the people that have the ability to train are not in positions to train anymore. And we're seeing it a little bit in technology too, man, because like I'm still a somewhat fairly new developer, and you're getting into this interesting like position where a lot of these companies are starting to axe junior developer positions because you've got AI models that can do a majority of that work, and they don't have to pay anybody to do that because they can essentially have a senior engineer hammer that work out at 10 times the speed that a junior is going to do it, with no mistakes, no coaching, no training hours, all of that different stuff. Well, no one's really looking at the bell curve that we're dealing with here, where in another 10 to 20 years, there's not going to be anybody that's trained up enough to be the senior, even steering the AI programs, because you're not training people at the baseline. And I'm noticing that in the restaurant industry too, man, where it's like you've got people that I was coming up with that are elevated into beverage director positions, or they're owners and operators. And so the people that are the baseline bartenders anymore, who are they to be training anybody? And not to say that they're not capable, right? But a lot of them aren't going through the ringer like you and I did, man. Like I was a door guy, and then I was a bar back for like 4 or 5 years. And then I finally got to bartend, and it was like this huge thing when that finally came through and I was able to do it. But it seems like because the talent pool is so small, people are just jumping straight into bartending positions. And there's that gap of like hands-on knowledge and like trade expertise that's kind of falling through the cracks right now.
Dude, totally. I mean, you have to invest in the next gen. Like,
yep,
it has to happen. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't know exactly like either how to invest in the next gen or who in the next gen to invest in, because a lot of people don't want to do the work that you and I did. A lot of kids aren't willing to take an entry-level position. They saw on fucking Instagram that they could start here and do this job and get this reward right out the gates. It's not really the way that the fucking world works, but it's the way that it's been portrayed to them. And so it's kind of unfair because they're set for unrealistic expectations, and then the employers are set for unrealistic employment, which just... It's kind of a fucked situation all around. But it's interesting too. I mean, like In-N-Out, dude, like Dope Ass Burger Joint, love that shit. They start kids at $19 an hour, bro. $19 an hour. If you're independently owned and operated spot, if you and I opened up a bar and we were gonna have a small kitchen, right? We only need like 2 cooks. We're doing nighttime only. We need a small staff out front because we're gonna run the bar. I'll run the front. We need maybe like 5 servers and an ambassador, a host or something like that. What do you think we would start those people at, bro? Like, you're going to compete with those prices? You're going to be paying cooks in the back doing chicken wings fucking $23 an hour?
Right.
Like, dude, as a small mom and pop shop, bro, like, you can't compete with that shit, bro. It's awful. And if you get somebody in, maybe they're not the right skill set. Maybe they don't want the fucking job. Maybe they're just trying to get a check. You put a bunch of training dollars into somebody and they don't show up for their shift. I mean, bro, like, there's a lot that goes into it that's just, it's disheartening. After everything that everybody's built, you know what I'm saying? But it's also, I think the way that people are dying too, dude, it's changing, man. It's the next gen, right? I think people who are doing like trades, carpenters, electricians, plumbers, stuff like that. I mean, dude, like you're not going to get a robot to come and fucking fix the shitty pipes underneath your house. Like, I don't give a fuck how well you train them. Like you're a ways away from that. But it can do some digital shit, right? Like Mickey D's. You walk into a Mickey D's lately, bro? There's like 2 people working, bro. It's just screen after screen after screen. You order everything from a screen, you pay at the screen, you turn around, and somebody brings you your food. You know what I mean? Like it's fucking crazy. Like my understanding of like fast food is they're eliminating people pretty much entirely, right? Like you've got one person who's like controlling all these machines and then handing the food off. But I mean, fuck, bro. How much longer before they don't even need people? Yeah,
seems like we're creeping up on it, man. And it's kind of sad too, because you see it happening in a lot of different areas where I guess the avoidance of human connection and conversation, like it's part of the reason that I'm wanting to do this too, man. Because it's like I enjoy these interactions so much, man, that like I want to keep doing that and having that, and like I don't always get the option to in my day to day. So this is a good way for me to do that, man.
Totally, dude. And also, I mean, I think, you circle all the way back to the beginning where people like just ghost each other, like the easiest way for me to like say no to you or not have a confrontation with you or to communicate with you and tell you that I don't want to deal with you is to just like not deal with you. You know what I mean? And that's like, how fucking weird is that? It's foreign to people like us who are like, dude, I'm from a generation, bro, where if you thought a girl was cute, bro, you had to just like walk up to her and ask her for a number. Like you're at the mall, bro, like you're at the gas station, it's the only time you're gonna see her, like, yo, bro, you better take advantage of that because you might not see her again. You're not swiping left, you're not swiping right, you're not doing DMs or any of that bullshit, bro. Like, you see her, you gotta holler at her. If she's in front of her girls, you're with your boys, bro, sometimes she tells you fuck off. Like, I'm short, bro, she'd be like, nah, man, you too little. You're like, fuck off. Man, but I mean, dude, it's different. Things, I don't know, things are just different. So also trying to like understand what is actually happening in the world versus like me telling my daughters like, yo, this is how it was when I grew up. I don't want to be that old motherfucker that always compares like, my upbringing to their upbringing. So I listen a lot, man. I try to understand a lot instead of like pretending like I really know everything that's going down. I'm like, man, I don't know shit. Teach me. Tell me. What's it like?
Yeah, fill me in.
Give me an idea. Yeah, for sure. So I think that makes them feel more connected when they like open up and they're the teacher too, you know what I'm saying?
Ooh, kind of give them the time to kind of teach you something.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Honestly, you learn a lot more by not projecting and just sitting there and fucking listening and absorbing anyways. You know that shit,
Yeah, just take it all in.
Dude, I saw the biggest fucking owl out here the other day. I was just looking out my backyard. I got 2 owls. Like, my neighbors have chickens. I'm trying to get rid of all these pigeons. Wifey's home. But yeah, dude, there's like, my neighbor has chickens, so there's all these fucking pigeons over here fucking around eating all this shit. And so now there's like hawks and stuff like that. And I saw the biggest fucking owl here the other night, bro. Have you ever seen an owl?
Bro, they're terrifying.
Like outside of the zoo. Have you ever seen a fucking owl?
There's one that hangs out on the lamppost, like right outside of the house. They're terrifying. They're huge.
This motherfucking thing was massive. Okay, so it was literally like, it had to have been 3 feet tall. Its wingspan was so fucking impressive, bro.
Like 9 million miles wide.
Dude, right? I hit this motherfucker with a light. Like one of the lights off my gun. It's like 1,000 lumens or something like that. Dude, I hit him with the light and he just like fucking looked at me. Dude, the biggest yellow eyes. I'm like, oh my God. I felt like I had summoned a demon. Like now I have to answer for like getting this thing's attention. And it just stared at me, bro. Like stared into my soul. I don't know why.
It's like, you ain't doing shit. I'm right here.
Dude, I had the most crazy like desire to see and learn and understand birds in the last year. I don't know why, bro. Like birds are like my spirit animal, bro. They're so fucking cool. And the reason I got the hummingbird tattoo, I got like a family of hummingbirds that are out in front of my house. They come to my fountain, bro, and like a lot of different cultures say that like hummingbirds are your ancestors coming back. And like, like just visible spirits to check up on. I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool. I could get down with that. Like, I don't know if I like subscribe to it, but like it's cool enough, Like I'll take that and run with it.
We tell the kids that Tay's mom appears to them as hummingbirds. And dude, we've seen some like wild shit, dude. Like we say this and it's like, oh, there's Granny, da da da. I'm not kidding. Like Coop was standing out in the middle of the road one time, not near anything that's like a flower or anything green that it should have been hovering around. Like got 2 inches away from Cooper's face, hovered and hung out there for like, I want to say 30 seconds, but in all reality, it's probably like, you know what I mean? Looked directly at him and he just stood there and they like locked eyes and then it flew off. I'm like, what the hell was that?
Holy shit, dude. Yeah, that's fucking awesome, bro. So yeah, I don't know. I got these families of birds around me, man. Like my neighbor lady, she like redid her house. She's got this beautiful garden. She put some water out there, tried to steal my hummingbirds. I'm like, bitch, you better not. So I like made my shit even more extravagant, put like better, taller towers of water out here. I got like more red decorations out front. I'm like, man, fuck that bitch. I'll put extra honey out here for you guys, man. Trust me, like sweeten the pot a little bit.
Like I'm not losing the neighborhood battle of like having the hummingbirds hanging out. Like that is.
There's
that
something
ain't happening.
peaceful about it for me. I don't know, man. I'll be like out there like in the morning, like drinking coffee. I'm like, baby, like check it out. The birds are here. She's like, dude, they're here every morning, baby. Like I know, but I'm like a little kid, I'm like, I don't know. There's like a strange like connection and affinity for these birds. I feel strangely connected to them.
Follow that, man.
Some weird ass shit, but
I don't think it's weird. I say follow that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm running with it, dude. I got it inked up on the neck, so it's part
there,
of me now
baby.
forever. Yeah, dude. I might do like a whole sleeve where I do like a bald eagle and then like an owl down here or something like that too.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, dude. But
well,
you got more
brother.
ink coming or no?
I need to finish up like this right side of my neck, but I am not looking forward to it in the least bit. You know how it is, dude. That shit hurts, man. But
it sucked.
I got to do that. I got to get my right hand done. I've got my left, and then I don't know. I've got a whole back piece that I'm kind of planning out right now too.
What about the kiddos? You think they'll end up getting tats?
I asked Cooper the other day, and he said no.
Nah, shit.
So I think he's probably at that stage where it's like dad's kind of not the coolest person in the world yet. I don't want to be exactly like him kind of thing, but
Yeah.
or just this like mom and dad both have him, so I don't want him kind of thing. Because Tay's pretty tatted up too.
Wifey tatted up, yeah.
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 So
I think my oldest daughter will. I don't think my other two will. They're not really like showing an interest in that shit at all.
yeah, not their
It's
thing at all.
interesting how that goes, right? I got a
You don't know
brother-in-law.
which ones are going to pick up what.
Yeah. I got a brother-in-law. His whole family's like, they were like tattoo artists. They were like fucking covered in ink and shit. And he's got no tattoos. He's like, I didn't want to be able to be identified. He was like a little criminal motherfucker. You know? That kind of makes sense. Now he's older and he doesn't do that shit anymore. But I'm like, I respect it. It makes sense.
He's the no face, no case kid.
It's an addiction though, bro. Like once you pop, man, like, bro, pull out your fucking debit card. That shit gets
Dude.
expensive quick too.
It does, man. And it takes you 5 years to plan your first one and 5 minutes to plan the next.
Yep, that's very true. My middle daughter, bro, she's fucking badass, man. She's a real good artist. And I'm like, dude, you should consider it, man. I'll get you a gun and some pig ears and whatever type of slabs of skin you want to work on, man. Like, I'll obviously, be a guinea pig for it too. But I think there's really good money in that.
Dude, have you seen, you can get the notebooks on Amazon, and they're like little pieces of paper, but you can get a pin that essentially has the motor attached to it. Dude, get her one of those for Christmas or something, dude, and just see what she does with it.
Yeah. What are you guys doing for Christmas, man? You guys celebrate yet?
Yeah, we always pile everybody into our house. Like all the grandparents come over, all the
dope.
aunts and uncles and everything, and we do Christmas at the house, man.
Okay, dope.
Yeah, what about you guys?
Traditions?
We do. So for the first year, we're going to my mom's for Christmas Eve dinner and kind of starting a new tradition with that.
And? Nervous
Yeah,
about
it'll-
that shit, huh? That's fun.
No, it'll be good, man. It's kind of, we're testing the waters with it. It's kind of tough for us because it's far. Like it's an hour from the house, so we'll have to jump over there. She's going to do it at like 3 or 4, so it shouldn't be too bad getting the boys down. So we'll go do Christmas Eve there, haul ass back, get set up, and like make the magic happen for the boys in the morning. And then go ahead.
No. Yeah, I'll let you finish there.
Every Christmas night after we're done with presents and everything, we go to Zoo Lights over here at the Phoenix Zoo too.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Is it cool? They get set it up nice?
Oh, dude, it's always fun, man. It's like just our tradition. Like it's packed, it's crazy, but we go get our hot chocolate and wander around with the boys, and they look at all the Christmas lights. So it's just one of those things we do, man.
There's something pretty magical about the year, man. Like the lights, the cocoa, the whole shit, like just really gets kids pumped, man. I went and got a real tree not long ago, and I took 2 of my kids, and they were like, man, I love the smell of the tree. I'm like, I'm so excited. They start talking about their favorite part of Christmas, which is the stockings and shit, which is like my favorite part of Christmas. I love like tearing that shit up and finding all the cool stuff in it, you know what I mean? Like the stocking was always way cooler for me than like the big gifts. But yeah, so we do. I was talking to you earlier. I'm like, yo, is there a tradition that we do? I'm like searching my memory bank. I'm like, we don't really have like traditions and shit. But years ago, my kids were probably about your age, and we would go out like early December, right? Maybe it's fucking late November. Who gives a fuck? Whenever you get your tree, whatever. And everybody would pick out one ornament, like a different ornament.
That's
so you go
dope.
to like you go to like a Hallmark. You hit up like a fucking Target or whatever, a Disney store, and everybody gets a different. So the girls would always get like a princess one. My wife would get whatever she thought was really cool, like a little cool like globe one or like a frame or some shit. And then I would always get like, say I get like Thor or Iron Man or something like that, Yeah. And so we're setting up the tree, and I'm like opening these ornaments. I'm like, oh shit, like check this one out. You guys remember this? And they're like, oh no way, it's Bill. And that was like one of the coolest things, man. Like decorating the tree together, and everybody like, because nobody remembers what fucking ones we got, And some of them are from when the girls were like 8 years old.
Yeah.
And so now it's like you unwrap them, and I guess like the memories come back, the joy.
Yeah.
Of like revisiting it, and everybody gets super excited and shit, which is really cool. And then my wife's huge on pajamas, bro. Huge on pajamas. And so we always get matching pajamas, and everybody rocks matching pajamas. And so we do that on Christmas Eve when we go to her parents' house, because them essays celebrate on Christmas Eve. And then we wake up in the morning hella early over here. And this might be the first year, bro. I got a stocking for my oldest daughter's boyfriend. And so I'm assuming he'll be here on Christmas morning.
All right.
May or may not drop an invite to stay the night before. I don't know, bro. Like I'm
all
super
right.
battling with this, but
I can tell you're mentally grappling with that one, man.
yeah. Talk to the queen a little bit more, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's on the cusp, bro. It's about to be there. You know what I mean?
That's cool, man. I like the traditions that you guys have. We've done pajamas a couple years. It hasn't been consistent though, so maybe that's something we'll bring back. I like that you mentioned even the girls getting the natural tree and being like, oh, the smell of this, because like that's some serious nostalgia, man. That stuff sticks, dude. They'll catch like a whiff of a Christmas tree during this time of year 20 years from now and be thinking about doing that with dad. So that's cool, man.
Yep. The ornaments thing was really fucking cool too, man, because everybody pulls them out and I'm like, yo, whose was this? And they're like, oh, it was mine. Oh, it's so embarrassing. Yeah, but it's cool, man, because it like transcends you back to how many Christmases you guys actually spent together, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of cool because then over time your tree just gets more decorated with like shit that you guys all picked out together. It's all like the tree is literally decorated with fucking memories.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
So that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man. As far as the rest of the holidays, man, about as stressful as you can imagine, bro. I take family in small doses, but my immediate family, bro, like it's really a time for like gratitude, man. Like I'm ending it with that, bro. 2025 has been a really challenging, like emotional year for me, but bro, really, really grateful, man. I'm really grateful for everything that I have that's good in my life, that's positive in my life, and I don't want to focus on being ungrateful and like looking at, you know, how, all the things that are wrong, because I could pick out a bunch, you know, just like I could pick out a bunch of reasons to drink, and I just try to like hang on to one thing that's like really good in my life. And for you, man, you've got a beautiful wife, you guys got years under your belt, you've got 7 years sobriety coming up, man, which I know is going to hit hard, especially on Christmas morning, man, when you open your eyes and you hear the boys laugh and your wife grabs you and kisses you and says, I'm proud of you, and like it's fucking magic, man. And I hope that you too focus on all the positive things that you got going on in your life and how amazingly blessed you are, bro, because honestly, it's easy to think about the podcast not taking off or like how work is fucking going and all the other things that are happening in life and fucking piece of shit car not working or whatever the case may be. But my words to you, man, like enjoy it, bro, because it happens fucking fast. This is the first year. The first year my kids were just like, remember when you used to fucking pretend like you were Santa? I'm like, man. I'm like, oh, hell no, you fools know that? Like, you know that? You know I'm not Santa?
Oh, man.
Like, I still want you to go to bed. I'm still doing my Santa shit. You still better leave some fucking cookies out, too, bro.
Yeah, damn it. I'm looking forward to that.
I'm going to dump that nasty-ass milk down the fucking sink, but I'm eating those cookies. But, yeah, this is the first year, dude, like, that they were all very open. Like, yo, you remember when you used to be Santa? And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Like, damn, dude.
Yeah, I remember that shit. I also heard my oldest daughter say fuck for the first time today.
Oof.
And I know that she, you know, I mean, she's my daughter, so I'm sure she speaks like that. But it's the first time I ever heard it, and I was like, okay.
Where'd that come from?
It was about Diddy. Like, man, that guy was fucking creepy. I'm like, yeah, for sure.
You get a pass on that one. I'll let that fly.
I already knew that. That was funny shit. Yeah, dude, thanks for having me on the show, man. Thanks for sending out the invite, man. And sorry it took me a minute to get my shit in gear and get over here, bro. But anytime you want to chop it up, bro, anytime there's anything going on, if I can ever be a guest or promote or encourage or be a participant, man, you know, dude, I'm one of your biggest fucking fans, man. I want to see you succeed so bad, bro. So if there's anything I can ever do to be a support or encourage, man, like in any way, shape, or form, bro, say less, man. I got you always.
I appreciate you, brother.
Hell yeah, Doug.
We'll throw some links in the show notes on how people can find you at Dope Dad Podcast.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
So I'm gonna put some pressure on you to get that thing ripping and roaring again, baby.
Please do, man. Yeah, I need the.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on you. So we'll link that stuff so people can find you outside of the episode, man. And thank you so much for coming on, dude.
Yeah, dude. What episode is this? Is it gonna air as?
This is numero uno. This is episode 1, baby.
So blessed, man. Thank you, dog. I love you, man. Keep doing the hard work, man. Keep doing the great hustle. If there's anything I can do, man, let me know. And obviously, bro, like if I mind my manners, invite your boy back. I want to be a repeat.
Absolutely, baby.
I always say that to my kids. I'm like, why do you mind your manners when you go somewhere else? And they're like, because we want to be invited back. I'm like, that's what's up. That's exactly right. Hell yeah.
Beautiful.
I love you, bro. Happy holidays, man.
Love you too, brother.
Thanks, bro. Peace.
Later, man.